All I wanted him to do was admit it. Just admit that he was talking to her at one point. I don't want to believe there's others. I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that.
Tonight, the truth behind Lisa and Daniel's relationship may finally be exploding into the open. Secret marriage accusations, family betrayal, shocking claims from Daniel's own uncle, and now rumors that Lisa has fallen for a 21-year-old man from Nigeria, who may already be planning a move to America. But Daniel is fighting back hard, denying everything and threatening legal action as this relationship turns into a complete public war. What really happened behind closed doors? And who is hiding the biggest secret of all? This is the shocking 90-Day Fiancé drama everyone is talking about.
My headspace is all over the place. There's proof. She didn't say I'm not his wife. She didn't say who are you talking to. That answers everything I need. He can't come up with an excuse for that. You have a contact that says wife, and you lied, and now you're smiling and smirking and acting like you don't care.
Can you stop? Can we be serious?
One of the most surprising relationship scandals that fans have witnessed in a long time has officially erupted from the drama surrounding 90-Day Fiancé. Allegations of betrayal, secret marriages, family secrets, green card accusations, cheating charges, and even threats of legal action have emerged from what once appeared to be just another heartfelt international love tale. Lisa and Daniel, whose relationship seems to be dissolving in public, as both parties continue to reveal painful facts about what actually transpired behind closed doors, are at the core of the maelstrom. Lisa claims that everything changed when she discovered a terrible secret that Daniel had purportedly kept from her during their romance. Lisa now asserts that Daniel was previously married and that his uncle and other family members were aware of it all along. She claims that because she trusted Daniel and thought they would have a genuine future together, she feels totally deceived. Rather, Lisa now feels that she was utilized for immigration purposes and was controlled from the start. Lisa reportedly informed those close to her in an impassioned statement that she thinks Daniel and his family merely wanted access to America. She claims that despite surreptitiously concealing significant details about Daniel's past, they took her to Nigeria, made promises of love and marriage, and persuaded her that everything was genuine. Lisa states that after learning facts that she believes ought to have been made public long ago, she now feels ashamed. When online rumors surfaced that Daniel's uncle might have been aware of the purported prior marriage all along, fans were taken aback. According to some insiders, the uncle finally acknowledged that Lisa was unaware of certain things, while others claim the family is attempting to refute everything now that the tale has been made public. In any case, the matter has gotten really muddy, and viewers are having a hard time figuring out who is speaking the truth. After Lisa apparently confronted Daniel with the marriage claims, her rage grew even more extreme. According to people close to the pair, Lisa asked for clarification and evidence of his previous relationships. Daniel reportedly came back aggressively and accused Lisa of fabricating drama without providing any proof, refusing to acknowledge anything. Daniel now asserts that Lisa has no evidence at all that he was previously married and that the charges are only an effort to damage his public image. However, the startling charges didn't end there. Now, Daniel has launched an explosive assault against Lisa, alleging that she had a relationship with another young man in Nigeria while they were still together. Daniel claims that while he and Lisa were still attempting to resolve their issues, the man, who is only 21 years old, crossed emotional boundaries in their relationship. According to reports, Daniel feels badly deceived by this purported relationship and finds it unbelievable that Lisa would accuse him of being dishonest while she was purportedly secretly having amorous conversations with someone else. He maintains that by openly criticizing him, Lisa is attempting to deflect attention from her own actions. Daniel claims that the circumstance has ruined his mental health and made him feel ashamed in front of loved ones and admirers. Now that Daniel is allegedly thinking of taking legal action, the controversy has grown even more intense. Insiders claim that Daniel thinks Lisa's public charges could negatively impact his reputation and future prospects. He claims that the accusations of a covert marriage are untrue and slanderous, and he intends to bring legal action against her. Online fans are now split. Some believe Daniel may be telling the truth about being falsely accused, while others support Lisa's emotive accusations. As supporters of both sides continue to debate what actually transpired, social media has turned into a battlefield. Some admirers think Lisa's emotional response is sincere, and that it explains why she has recently shown signs of heartbreak and rage. Others contend that Daniel has consistently and calmly refuted the charges, raising the possibility that Lisa misinterpreted information about his background. At the same time, the story has grown even more dramatic due to another unexpected turn of events. There are now rumors that the young Nigerian man who is associated with Lisa has made the decision to travel to the United States. Fans are questioning whether Lisa's relationship with the young man got serious after her issues with Daniel erupted, which has led to a great deal of conjecture on the internet. While some viewers assume the incident is being dramatized online for attention, others think the young man may already be planning a future with Lisa. Lisa's detractors claim that the timing appears odd because her charges against Daniel became more serious at the same time that rumors about the younger Nigerian man began to circulate. They think there might be some validity to Daniel's allegations of emotional betrayal. Lisa's supporters, meanwhile, maintain that Daniel is merely bringing up the younger man to divert attention from the claims of a secret marriage. Both families have apparently been severely impacted by the emotional aftermath. According to sources, family members on both sides have gotten into furious disputes over loyalty, integrity, and who is to blame for the breakup. According to reports, some family members wanted the couple to resolve their differences in private, but the public accusations have now made that nearly impossible. Because each new disclosure appears more dramatic than the last, fans of 90 Day Fiancé are referring to this as one of the strangest romantic meltdowns the program has seen lately. Claims of infidelity with a younger guy, threats of legal action, hidden marriages, accusations of using someone for a green card, family members supposedly concealing secrets, and a potential relocation to the United States have all come together to form one enormous controversy. A lot of viewers are also wondering if there were early warning indicators in the relationship that were disregarded. Fans speculate that there may have been times when family strife, communication concerns, and trust issues were already apparent. Some say the relationship may have been unstable from the start, while others think whatever love that may have been between them was ultimately destroyed by outside pressures and internet rumors. Whether Daniel actually had a secret marriage in the past is one of the main questions that people still have. The claims are still quite contentious because no confirmed evidence has been made public thus far. Daniel continues to vehemently and persistently refute Lisa's insistence that she found facts that profoundly altered her emotional state. Whether Lisa actually fell in love with the younger Nigerian man throughout her relationship problems is another topic that viewers can't stop debating. Lisa's side allegedly contends that Daniel's actions forced her to seek emotional assistance elsewhere, despite Daniel's apparent conviction that emotional boundaries were broken. This has sparked a heated internet discussion regarding emotional betrayal, loyalty, and trust. In the meantime, rumors regarding potential legal action are still circulating quickly. Because he feels publicly embarrassed by the claims, several insiders think Daniel is serious about going to court. Some believe that the legal threats might just be an emotional response to a difficult breakup. In any case, the prospect of a legal battle has increased supporters' obsession with every update. Concerns about whether TLC producers are keeping a close eye on the issue behind the scenes are also becoming more prevalent. Although there hasn't been an official announcement, a lot of fans think the incident is garnering a lot of attention online and might develop into one of the franchise's greatest topics this year. As fans look for fresh hints about what is actually happening, social media pages addressing the drama are seeing enormous engagement. Some admirers think that Lisa and Daniel may have committed blunders that gradually ruined their love. Some believe that one side is blatantly concealing the truth. But regardless of who is ultimately correct or incorrect, it now seems hard to overlook the emotional harm. Lisa is said to be distraught since she thought she was creating a real future built on trust and honesty. According to reports, Daniel is enraged because he feels that unfounded accusations are damaging his name and turning followers against him. Family members, internet followers, and reality TV watchers are all attempting to put together what truly transpired amid all of this upheaval. The fact that the story still seems far from over may be the most startling aspect. The problem might get worse if Daniel actually pursues legal action. Fans are aware that the controversy will only intensify if the younger Nigerian man associated with Lisa actually intends to travel to the United States. As one of the most talked about 90-day fiancé scandals in recent memory, fans on social media are currently anticipating additional proof, interviews, and disclosures. No matter how chaotic things get, Lisa and Daniel both seem determined to publicly defend themselves, and every new rumor sparks a new wave of conjecture. There is no doubt that the relationship between Lisa and Daniel has now devolved into a full-fledged public conflict consisting of startling claims, emotional betrayal, family secrets, and charges that have the potential to drastically alter both of their lives. As new allegations, emotional claims, and familial issues begin to surface online, the stunning love war between 90-Day Fiancé actors Lisa and Daniel keeps getting out of hand. Daniel has now thoroughly retaliated with charges of his own after Lisa accused him of concealing a prior marriage and allowing his family to conceal secrets from her. As a result, their breakup has become one of the most dramatic public feuds fans have witnessed in recent memory. Insiders close to Daniel claim that he now feels totally deceived by the public way the situation has developed. According to reports, Daniel feels that Lisa damaged his reputation by accusing him of concealing significant aspects of his background without providing substantiated evidence. According to sources, Daniel is upset, ashamed, and emotionally spent after seeing thousands of people call him manipulative and dishonest on the internet. Daniel is still vehemently disputing the claims of a covert prior marriage. According to reports, he maintains that the rumors are untrue and claims Lisa's thoughts were influenced by outside rumors and emotional uncertainty. Daniel, according to those close to him, thinks the relationship started to fall apart as soon as Lisa stopped having direct faith in him and began hearing rumors from people in her immediate vicinity. Daniel, however, has escalated his own accusations against Lisa while simultaneously refuting her accusations. Daniel claims that while they were still attempting to salvage their relationship, Lisa developed an emotional attachment to another young Nigerian man. According to Daniel, the man is only 21 years old, and he believes that Lisa's developing bond with him caused a great deal of emotional strain. Daniel is particularly offended, according to people close to him, since he feels Lisa publicly insulted him while concealing her own emotional relationship with someone else. Insiders claim that Daniel now believes the relationship was emotionally dying long before the public controversy erupted on the internet. Fans' opinions on the matter are still sharply divided. Some viewers speculate that Lisa may have looked for emotional solace elsewhere, since she felt deceived after discovering startling details about Daniel's purported past. Others think that Lisa's actions during the relationship are seriously called into question by Daniel's allegations. In the meantime, online rumors about the younger Nigerian man are still spreading quickly. Social media users are frantically attempting to learn more about him and comprehend the potential gravity of his relationship with Lisa. According to several insiders, when Lisa's relationship with Daniel broke down, the younger man became one of the few people she felt emotionally comfortable talking to. Rumors that the younger Nigerian man now wants to travel to America caused the situation to intensify. This instantly sparked more conjecture among admirers, many of whom are now wondering if Lisa is getting ready to move on from Daniel entirely and start a new chapter with someone else. Lisa's detractors claim that everything seems odd in its timing. Some viewers claim that Lisa's charges against Daniel gained significant publicity at the same time as her relationship with the younger man allegedly became closer. This, according to Daniel's supporters, raises significant concerns about whether Lisa emotionally left the relationship earlier than she acknowledges. Nonetheless, Lisa's supporters are still vehemently defending her. They say that Daniel is simply concentrating on the younger Nigerian man in order to divert attention away from the grave accusations pertaining to his purported prior marriage and family secrets. Online supporters of Lisa claim that her emotional suffering is genuine and that she would not have reacted so forcefully in the absence of compelling circumstances. Social media pages addressing 90-Day Fiancé are now teeming with passionate arguments, hypotheses, and constant conjecture as the drama continues to expand online. Fans who are closely following the controversy instantly turn every interview, rumors, and social media post related to Lisa or Daniel into a hot topic of conversation. Some viewers have been examining earlier incidents involving the couple because they think there were warning indications of problems long before the relationship formally ended. Fans now draw attention to situations where friction with family members, emotional distance, and communication issues were apparent. Insiders claim that after allegations of the covert marriage began to surface, Lisa and Daniel's emotional atmosphere became exceedingly poisonous. Nearly every chat eventually descended into disputes about loyalty, honesty, and trust, according to intimate friends of the ex-couple. According to reports, Lisa started to doubt whether she really knew Daniel at all and grew more wary of his past. According to reports, Daniel was irritated that Lisa no longer trusted him. Sources claim that the breakdown in trust got so bad that it eventually seemed impossible for both parties to mend the relationship. After Lisa publicly accused Daniel of manipulating her for immigration purposes, Daniel apparently became enraged as well. According to sources, Daniel feels that the charges seriously harmed his reputation and led many to mistakenly conclude that his motives were never sincere. He maintains that his connection with Lisa was founded on genuine feelings rather than aspirations to get a green card. However, Lisa is said to still be certain that she found facts that completely altered the situation. Because she stood up for Daniel for so long before learning of his purported secret past, friends close to her say she now feels emotionally manipulated and ashamed. Online conjecture is constantly fueled by the uncertainty surrounding the truth. The lack of publicly available confirmed evidence of the supposed prior marriage is one of the main reasons the dispute is still so heated. Some fans think there is private proof that could someday come to light. Others believe that gossip and emotional miscommunications led to an entirely uncontrollable situation. Meanwhile, concerns regarding Lisa's relationship with the younger Nigerian man are becoming more and more pressing every day. While some viewers assume internet gossip sites are fabricating information to add drama, others think the connection may already be genuine. Insiders claim that at one of the most trying times of Lisa's relationship problems with Daniel, she developed a deep emotional bond with the younger man. During a period when she was losing faith in Daniel, friends said she felt emotionally supported and understood. According to reports, Daniel has a completely different perspective on the matter. Daniel believes Lisa emotionally left the relationship before it was formally dissolved, according to those close to him. Daniel apparently thinks that emotional boundaries were breached in ways that greatly affected him, even if there was no physical interaction with the younger man. The already heated controversy is becoming even more tense due to the potential for legal action. According to sources, Daniel is thinking of taking legal action since he feels Lisa's charges gravely harmed his reputation. Insiders claim that Daniel is upset because many viewers concluded he was guilty before fully hearing his side of the story. There is still disagreement among fans regarding the likelihood of legal action. Some believe Daniel wants to defend his reputation publicly and force Lisa to provide proof for her accusations. Others believe that following a traumatic breakup and public humiliation, feelings are just exceedingly elevated. In the meantime, the controversy is still receiving a lot of attention from internet fan communities. Thousands of people are still arguing over who they think is delivering the whole truth about what actually transpired behind the scenes. Online relationship analysts contend that long-distance pressure, cultural misinterpretations, and public attention from reality TV caused the scenario to turn disastrous. Others believe deeper trust issues existed from the beginning and slowly destroyed the relationship over time. Fans find this story particularly poignant because Lisa and Daniel once seemed genuinely optimistic about creating a future together. Many observers thought they genuinely cared about each other at one point, despite cultural barriers and interpersonal difficulties. But now, it seems like the relationship is totally ruined. Lisa's close friends say she regrets ignoring warning signs earlier in the relationship and feels emotionally spent. Insiders claim that she now wonders if the love she thought existed was ever completely real. However, it is said that Daniel is as heartbroken by the outcome of the incident. According to people close to him, he feels that the relationship was ruined by emotional presumptions and public rumors before open communication had an opportunity to mend it. Fans are still fixated on one fundamental point as the internet battle between supporters intensifies. Who is genuinely telling the truth? Was Daniel really keeping a past marriage a secret from Lisa? Did his family members have facts that she was never disclosed in secret? Before the relationship formally ended, did Lisa move on emotionally with another Nigerian man? Or did public pressure and personal suffering just make a failure?
Lisa has a new man in her life. Please welcome Ty. Hi, Ty.
Oh.
Hi, Ty.
Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Fitz. Hi, everyone.
Oh.
Hi, baby.
How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm fine. On you? How's everyone doing about that?
Everyone is doing great. Daniel, would you like to say hello to Ty?
Yeah, I would like to because he's my fellow man. I'm not against him.
You're not.
Hi, Ty.
Hi, how you doing?
Before the 90 Days Season 8, Tell All Part 2, Lisa shocks everyone by ending things with Daniel and revealing a new Nigerian man she plans to marry. Lisa didn't waste a second pretending. The moment she opened her mouth on the Tell All Part 2 stage, the truth came out clean, sharp, and impossible to misunderstand. Her relationship with Daniel was finished. Not strained, not uncertain, not hanging by a thread. Finished. The finality in her voice carried more weight than any dramatic confrontation could have, because it wasn't fueled by anger or tears, but by something far colder and far more decisive: detachment. She'd already moved on emotionally, and as it quickly became clear, she hadn't just moved on in theory. She had moved on in reality. Daniel, however, was still living inside a completely different version of events. As Lisa spoke about the relationship in the past tense, Daniel responded as if they were still very much connected, still bound, still unfinished. The gap between them wasn't just emotional, it was almost surreal. It felt like two separate timelines playing out on the same stage, neither one aligning with the other. And as the conversation continued, that disconnect only grew wider, more uncomfortable, and impossible to ignore. Then came the moment that shifted everything from tense to explosive. Lisa revealed she was already involved with someone new. A man named Ty, also from Nigeria. The announcement didn't just land, it hit with force. You could almost feel the reaction ripple across the room as everyone processed what she had just said. This wasn't a slow recovery after heartbreak or a cautious step back into dating. This was a full leap into another relationship, and Lisa made it very clear she wasn't hesitating. Ty, she explained, is significantly younger, 21 years younger to be exact. A detail that only intensified the reaction from those around her. But Lisa didn't frame it as something questionable or risky. She framed it as exciting, as hopeful, as something that finally felt right. She spoke about him with an energy that stood in stark contrast to how she described Daniel. Where Daniel represented conflict, control, and emotional exhaustion, Ty was presented as understanding, supportive, and entirely different. And perhaps the most shocking part wasn't just that Ty existed, it was what Lisa planned to do next. She wasn't talking about seeing where things go or taking her time. She said she intended to marry him as soon as possible and move to Nigeria to be with him. The speed of it all left an almost stunned silence hanging in the air. Even in a franchise known for fast-moving relationships, this felt abrupt, almost dizzying in how quickly one life chapter had closed and another had already begun. Daniel's reaction was immediate, but not in the way many expected. Instead of showing heartbreak or even anger, he dismissed the entire situation. He brushed off Ty's existence as if it were temporary, irrelevant, something that didn't deserve his attention. He insisted that what he had with Lisa couldn't simply be replaced, couldn't be erased by a new name and a new plan. In his mind, their connection still held weight. Legal, emotional, and even cultural. That's when he doubled down on a claim that only added more tension to the already volatile situation. He insisted that he and Lisa were already traditionally married, suggesting that their bond went beyond what was being acknowledged on stage. It wasn't just a relationship to him, it was something official, something binding. And from his perspective, Lisa wasn't moving on. She was stepping outside of something that was still very much intact. The atmosphere shifted again when Daniel referred to himself in a way that made the room visibly uncomfortable. He called himself her master, a word that didn't just raise eyebrows, but completely changed the tone of the conversation. It hinted at a dynamic that went far beyond a typical long-distance relationship, suggesting a level of control or authority that Lisa, at this point, seemed determined to reject entirely. Lisa didn't engage with that framing. She didn't argue with it, didn't dissect it. She simply moved past it, as if it no longer had any relevance to her life, because in her mind, it didn't. She was no longer part of that dynamic. She had stepped out of it and she wasn't looking back. But just when it seemed like the emotional peak had already been reached, Lisa revealed something that reframed everything that came before it. She shared that she had been pregnant with Daniel's child. The revelation landed heavily, cutting through the tension and replacing it with a stunned silence that felt almost heavier than the earlier chaos. She explained that the pregnancy was ectopic, a dangerous and complicated medical condition made even more serious by her past health history, including a partial hysterectomy. It wasn't just unexpected, it was physically and emotionally overwhelming. But what truly shifted the room wasn't just the medical reality of what she went through, it was how she went through it. Alone. Lisa described being in the hospital without the support of her daughter, without family by her side, without anyone physically present to help her navigate one of the most difficult experiences of her life. And according to her, that isolation wasn't entirely by circumstance. She claimed Daniel didn't want others involved, that he discouraged her from bringing her daughter into the situation, and that even from another continent, his influence shaped how that moment unfolded. The weight of that revelation lingered. Suddenly, the breakup wasn't just about incompatibility or distance or even conflict. It was about control, about emotional impact, about a relationship that had crossed into territory Lisa no longer wanted to exist in. For her, that experience became the turning point. Not just a painful memory, but a moment of clarity. A moment that forced her to reassess everything. Who she was with, what she was accepting, and what she wanted moving forward. And what she wanted, she made very clear, did not include Daniel. But Daniel refused to accept that conclusion. He continued to insist that Lisa would return, that she would reach out, that this new relationship wouldn't last. There was a certainty in his tone that felt disconnected from everything happening in front of him, as if he was holding onto a script that no one else was following anymore. Meanwhile, Lisa continued speaking about Ty with confidence, even enthusiasm. She described him as someone who brings peace into her life, someone who listens, someone who supports her in ways she claims she never experienced before. She painted a picture of a future that felt stable, hopeful, and entirely separate from the emotional weight she associated with her past. And yet, for those watching, there was an undercurrent of doubt that couldn't be ignored. Not necessarily because of Ty himself, but because of the pattern, the speed, the intensity, the way one relationship had ended and another had already taken its place with such certainty. It raised questions that Lisa seemed unwilling to entertain, or perhaps simply uninterested in revisiting. What remained undeniable, though, was her resolve. She wasn't hesitating. She wasn't second-guessing. She had made her decision, and she was standing in it fully, regardless of how it looked to others or how strongly Daniel resisted it. By the time the segment began to wind down, the distance between Lisa and Daniel felt absolute. Not just geographically, not just emotionally, but fundamentally. They were no longer part of the same story. They weren't even telling the same version of the past, let alone imagining the same future. And yet, even as Lisa looked ahead, fully focused on what she believes is a new beginning, there was a lingering question hanging quietly beneath the surface of it all. Whether this fresh start is truly different, or simply another chapter shaped by the same patterns she insists she has finally left behind. Lisa's new beginning faces doubt as Daniel refuses to let go, and the truth behind their relationship leaves everyone questioning what comes next. Even as the conversation began to shift away from the initial shock of Lisa's announcement, the tension never truly left the stage. It lingered in every glance, every pause, every reaction from the cast members who were still trying to process what they had just witnessed, because this wasn't just another dramatic tell-all moment designed to stir headlines. It felt unresolved, unfinished, almost like the real story was still unfolding in real time, with no clear ending in sight. Lisa, however, carried herself as someone who believed the ending had already been written. Her focus remained fixed on the future she was now openly building with Ty, and the way she spoke about him suggested a kind of emotional certainty that she either hadn't felt before or hadn't allowed herself to show. There was excitement in her voice, but also something deeper. A determination to prove, not just to others but perhaps to herself, that this time would be different. That this relationship would not follow the same trajectory as the one she had just left behind. She described Ty as attentive, respectful, and present in a way that made her feel seen rather than controlled. That distinction became increasingly important as the conversation circled back to Daniel and the dynamic they had shared. Without needing to directly compare the two men in every sentence, the contrast was already clear in the way she framed her experiences. With Daniel, she spoke of pressure, influence, and moments where her autonomy felt compromised. With Ty, she spoke of freedom, support, and the ability to make her own choices without interference. But the more she leaned into that narrative, the more the skepticism around her began to surface. Not always in direct confrontation, but in subtle reactions, careful questions, and the unmistakable expressions of doubt from those sitting around her. Because while Lisa seemed convinced that she had stepped into something healthier, others weren't so sure that the speed of her transition allowed enough space for real change to take root. It wasn't just about Ty being new. It was about how quickly new had become forever. And that's where Daniel's voice cut back into the conversation, refusing to fade into the background. He continued to challenge Lisa's version of events, not by acknowledging her feelings, but by dismissing them entirely. He insisted that what she was describing wasn't reality, that her connection with Ty was temporary, superficial, something that would collapse under its own weight the moment time tested it. He spoke as if he was waiting, not moving on, waiting for her to return, waiting for her to realize she had made a mistake. Waiting for the moment when, in his mind, everything would snap back into place the way he believed it was supposed to be. That refusal to let go created a tension that felt heavier than any argument. It wasn't loud or explosive in the traditional sense. It was persistent, almost immovable, and it made every attempt at closure feel incomplete, because closure requires acceptance from both sides, and Daniel simply wasn't offering that. At one point, the conversation circled back again to the claim of a traditional marriage, and the lack of clarity around what that actually meant only added to the confusion. To Daniel, it was proof of commitment, something binding and real. To Lisa, it seemed to hold little to no weight anymore, something she had mentally and emotionally stepped away from without hesitation. That difference in interpretation highlighted just how disconnected their understanding of the relationship had become. But it was impossible to ignore that the deeper emotional turning point still traced back to what Lisa had revealed earlier. The pregnancy, the hospital, and the isolation she described. Even as the discussion moved forward, that moment remained at the center of everything, shaping how her decision to leave Daniel was being understood. Because for Lisa, that wasn't just a difficult experience, it was the experience that changed everything. The way she described it, there was a sense of realization that came not all at once, but in pieces. Being physically alone in a moment where she needed support forced her to confront the reality of her situation in a way that distance had previously allowed her to avoid. The absence of her daughter, the lack of immediate comfort, the emotional weight of what she was going through, all of it created a clarity that she could no longer ignore once it set in. And in that clarity, Daniel no longer represented partnership. He represented something she needed to walk away from. That perspective didn't soften as she spoke about it again. If anything, it became more defined, more grounded. There was no hesitation in her voice when she reinforced that she wanted nothing more to do with him. No ambiguity, no space for negotiation. But Daniel continued to exist outside of that conclusion. He maintained his stance, repeating that she would come back, that their connection was too strong to disappear, that everything she was saying now would eventually be undone by time. It wasn't just denial. It felt like conviction, the kind that doesn't shift easily, even in the face of clear opposition. And that left the situation in a strange, unresolved place. Lisa had closed the door. Daniel was still standing in the doorway. Meanwhile, Ty, the person at the center of Lisa's new beginning, remained largely a presence through her words rather than his own voice, which only added another layer of uncertainty to how real, how stable, and how understood this new relationship actually was by those watching from the outside. Lisa painted a future that felt immediate and concrete. Marriage, relocation, a new life in Nigeria. She spoke about it not as a possibility, but as a plan already in motion. And yet, the absence of hesitation in her tone contrasted sharply with the hesitation visible in everyone else. Because belief and reality don't always move at the same pace. And sometimes, the certainty someone feels internally doesn't translate into confidence from those observing from the outside. Still, Lisa didn't waver. She continued to defend her choices, not aggressively, but firmly. She acknowledged that people might not understand, that they might question her judgment, but she didn't present herself as someone seeking approval. She presented herself as someone who had already made peace with her decision. Whether that peace is lasting, however, remains an open question. As the tell-all edged closer to its conclusion, there was no dramatic reconciliation, no sudden shift, no moment where everything tied together neatly. Instead, what remained was a collection of unresolved emotions, conflicting perspectives, and a future that felt uncertain despite how confidently it was being described. Lisa stood on one side of that future, fully committed to stepping into it. Daniel stood on the other, refusing to believe he wasn't still a part of it. And somewhere in between, unanswered questions lingered. About Ty, about the speed of everything, about whether lessons from the past had truly been learned or simply left behind in the rush towards something new. Because if this tell-all proved anything, it's that endings don't always feel like endings when one person refuses to accept them, and new beginnings don't always come with the clarity they promise. Sometimes they come with echoes, and sometimes those echoes don't fade as quickly as we expect them to. Lisa's new boyfriend, everything we know about Ty. While Daniel Ejike Iweala has repeatedly claimed that Lisa Rosenberger is traditionally married to him on the 90-Day Fiancé, before the 90 Days Season 8 tell-all, she has finally introduced viewers to her new Nigerian boyfriend, Ty. If you're confused, don't worry. We're breaking down everything Lisa and her daughter Faith revealed at the Season 8 tell-all, from why she believes she's been cursed by a Nigerian priest, where she stands with Daniel, who claims he's her husband, and how she met her new man. Buckle up, because this is one wild ride. Who is Lisa's new boyfriend? During the tell-all Part 2, Lisa revealed she is seeing a new man, who is also from Nigeria. Ty, who joined the cast via video call, revealed that he would call himself Lisa's boyfriend. After getting asked about an age gap by the rest of the cast, Ty revealed he is 31 years old, making him 21 years younger than Lisa. According to Lisa, she told Ty about all of her past marriages to men and women alike, right from the start of their relationship. As she put it, the difference was he accepted it from the very beginning. Is Lisa married to Daniel? Legally, no. Lisa is not officially married to Daniel. However, Daniel claims that Lisa is traditionally his because they got traditionally married during a cleansing by a Nigerian priest. While Lisa did not know they were getting married, Daniel now claims that they are cursed if they leave each other. Seemingly proving his point, after Lisa returned home, she ended up in the hospital with an ectopic pregnancy. Daniel, who was still in Nigeria, would not let Lisa tell Faith that she was in the hospital. Faith told the cast, "I think the biggest question is, why couldn't I know that my mother was going into the hospital and was dying?" What has Ty said about the traditional marriage? According to Ty, he respects traditional marriage, but it wouldn't stop him from marrying Lisa since she doesn't want to be with Daniel. He told the cast, "It's not that I don't respect traditional marriage, but there is no legal documentation, something that really backed up. If you want to move on, you can move on with anybody." What's next for Lisa and Ty? Lisa shared that she and Faith are headed to Nigeria to meet Ty in person. There, Lisa and Ty will get married. Before you ask, no. Ty has not proposed. That said, Ty shared, "We are in the process, and she'll be coming soon. That's when I plan to propose to her. Could this mean Lisa and Ty will be the next 90-day fiancé power couple? Only time will tell.